And welcome back to another video from Off the Post. In today's episode, we'll be discussing Crystal Palace beating Manchester City 1-0 to win the FA Cup, and what an absolute historic way to do it. There were some special moments in that game, and I want to relive some of those moments in this video, okay? Just to lift up the trophy for the first time in their history, and what it means to those Crystal Palace supporters and everybody in South London. That will go down in history for that club, and what an absolutely incredible scenes. I feel like it really is the season of underdogs this year. If you think about Newcastle beating Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final, and now Crystal Palace beating Manchester City 1-0 to win the FA Cup, it's absolutely amazing, okay? I really do feel like the big six teams need to put some more respect on these mid-table sides that are, reaping the rewards recently, because honestly, Crystal Palace, you know what? It wasn't a overall great game for Crystal Palace, but what they did to, stick to their guns, stay in the game, and sort of bully Manchester City at times in the game was amazing. I feel that's one of the main reasons why they got that 1-0 victory over the line. Just sticking to their guns and, putting everything into that game to make sure they get that 1-0 victory over the line was brilliant, and I'll break down all the reasons why. But as always, like, comment, subscribe, it's very much appreciated, and the level of support on these videos recently on YouTube, on social media as well, I can't thank you guys enough. And in my 1 month anniversary I've been on YouTube, it has been incredible, honestly. The amount of views I've got recently so far, it is amazing. So yeah, I've said that word quite a lot right now, but let's just get straight into the video. Hey, where do you even start to begin though? Okay, because for me, at the start of the game, Crystal Palace was under so much pressure, with Erling Haaland having a few shots on goal, Manchester City having a few corners as well, where Dean Henderson sort of just easily catched it and whatnot. For me, I think Dean Henderson was the main player of the game. He was the man of the match overall, and he probably was one of the main reasons why Crystal Palace won that game. But there were so many good players in this game. Honestly, the way Oliver Glasner has sort of transformed that Crystal Palace side, turning some mediocre players into absolutely, world-class players right now, or world-class form at the moment, shall we say. It is unreal. If you think about some of the players in that team, right, Mateta, Eze, Adam Wharton, Margehi, Dean Henderson, some of them, right, under the previous manager weren't as great as they are previously. So that just goes to show the work Oliver Glasner has done on the training pitch in recent weeks, in recent months as well. I'm pretty sure 18 months ago now, pretty sure. Or yeah, I think so, because I think he joined halfway through, didn't he, last season. Eze is living proof to never give up, because him being released at loads of different clubs in his academy days, okay? He went to Arsenal, he went to Fulham, he went to Reading, he went to Millwall, but he found himself at QPR, didn't he? That's where he started to, make a name for himself in football, and that's where he came through. And you know what? Eberechi Eze, he's a fantastic footballer to watch. He's just effortless on the ball, and he bags goals, he gets assists. He really is their main outlet for Crystal Palace, isn't he? And to get that first goal like he did, the goal was scored in the 16th minute, when Mateta hold the ball up, right, paid a pass out wide, the ball got crossed into the box, and Eberechi Eze sort of just came in the last minute and got a touch on it and scored a goal. It was stereotypically a quite easy goal, some might say, but it was just executed to perfection. It really was. The way sort of, Manchester City were on the back foot for a lot of this game was fantastic. Like I said previously, Crystal Palace stuck to their guns, and they just absolutely made sure to nullify every sort of single Manchester City attack, because there was some times where Manchester City couldn't do anything against this Crystal Palace side. Don't get me wrong, they're having chances, but they just weren't clinical in this game. And, Dean Henderson, let's just talk about Dean Henderson, because I did say he was the player of the match. And, the way he had one of the best games of his career, I'm pretty sure. He made at least 3 or 4 big saves in the game, and he also made a penalty save to make sure, to keep his side in the game. Now, for me, it definitely was a penalty. Torrent Mitchell made a late challenge on one of the players. I think, was it? It might have been Salvini, I'm pretty sure. or one of the wingers. Oh no, it was Bernardo Silva, wasn't it? Yeah, he made a late tackle on Bernardo Silva and just took him out. There was no way it was going to go against him in that sort of view. But yeah, Dean Henderson, absolutely incredible player. You know, there was some serious talk around for me. Could he be England's #1 goalkeeper in the next tournament? Who knows? You know, I feel like overall he has had a better season than Jordan Pickford. You know, winning the FA Cup now as well, fantastic scenes. And for me, Dean Henderson as well, sort of at the end of the game, sort of saying to Pep Guardiola, "Stay humble." That was a little bit funny as well. I did like that. A little bit cheeky from Dean Henderson, wasn't it? And you know, for me, I think he's a better goalkeeper than Jordan Pickford. I think he's a better goalkeeper than even like Onana. Let's say, you know, obviously there was a whole little thing where a few seasons ago, obviously he started off went on loan to Sheffield United. That's sort of where he made his name for himself. Then the season later, he went back to Manchester United and sort of just sat on the bench there for a year. And then he joined Crystal Palace a year later, I'm pretty sure, didn't he? So that was a perfect move for his career, Dean Henderson. And there's no looking back for him now, I don't think. I feel like he could probably challenge Jordan Pickford for a #1 spot, and I feel like he probably does deserve it in this moment in time, at least. And, you know, it's a bit of a tricky one as well, because he could definitely start over Onana in that Manchester United team. But who cares? Because, you know, Crystal Palace from the Europa League as well. And I didn't even mention that. It's been quite a while in this video. And, you know, Crystal Palace and Europa League. And honestly, I do feel like they'll challenge the next season in the Europa League. If you think about their team, I don't really know what they're missing. They've got a solid team all around the pitch. They've got a settled defence. The midfield is very functional. And the attack as well is amazing. It's probably one of the best things about their team as well. Eze and Mateta, brilliant. And even Sarr as well, he chips in with a few goals here and there this season. Right, so when we speak about Crystal Palace in the Europa League, I really do feel like they've got a good opportunity to go quite far. I feel like at minimum, probably quarterfinals, semi-finals, especially when you think about Oliver Glasner, you know, winning the Europa League with Eintracht Frankfurt a few seasons ago. So from that position, for me, with one or two additions in either that centre mid position or right winger even maybe as well, to replace the likes of Will Hughes, is it Kamada, I don't know how to say his name, and Ismail Sarr maybe, but even though he's been fantastic this season, probably one of their star players as well. I just don't know where else on the pitch you'd maybe look well or need, unless maybe like a Marga he leaves, because there's been a lot of rumours where he's been linked with the likes of Newcastle and Chelsea. So if he does go to one of those big boy teams, you never know. Maybe they might need a new centre back in there as well. But yeah, okay. I want to speak about like 2 or 3 more players. Okay, that they've made who've got some really special stories for this Crystal Palace side. Okay, as I just mentioned, Margay before, not being able to see through one eye just shows the bravery and determination of this player. Okay, he is a real leader on that pitch for Crystal Palace, and he is like a legend in the making for that football club and just in English football in general, because it's the way he sort of dominated that Manchester City attack and didn't let any of the attackers score a goal or cause any harm against that Crystal Palace team. Another player I want to mention is Eddie Nketiah. Okay, for him to win a trophy in his first season for Crystal Palace and get a trophy before Mikel Arteta is quite hilarious. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, don't get me wrong. It's been a bit of a difficult season for Eddie Nketiah, not sort of getting in this team ahead of Jean-Philippe Mateta. Right, when we compare the 2 strikers of Eddie Nketiah and Jean-Philippe Mateta, okay, the transformation that Oliver Glasner has done over the past 18 months for Mateta has been truly incredible. It needs to be studied, honestly. Okay, under the previous manager at Crystal Palace, Mateta couldn't hit a barn door. Honestly, it was truly bad. And this season he's got his highest goal scoring season, I'm pretty sure, with 18 goals, and it truly is amazing. The French striker, he's a threat in the box. He's a threat outside the box. He can hold up the ball. He can bring players into play, obviously, and he just grabs the goals. He's got the strength. He's got the physicality. He's got the head. He's got the aerial ability. He can dribble with the ball as well. He's got a little bit of everything, and he's the biggest hype man as well, because those interviews with him and Eze at the end of the game, honestly, he just seems like a really great guy. And yeah, I can't believe the scenes that, you know, Crystal Palace. Those fans must be over the moon and they must be buzzing. They're gonna be buzzing all next season, and it is well deserved because that team were fantastic on the day. And to beat Manchester City, one of the best teams in Europe over recent seasons, over recent years, it's not an easy thing to do, is it? And you know, they were the best team at times. They really truly deserve this victory, and the fans are going to be celebrating for years to come. But for me, it's a bit of a tricky one now. Like, when you think about next season, who are they going to keep? Who are they going to bring in? It's a bit of a tricky one because I feel like they might, you know, Eberechi Eze, will he leave? Will Marga leave? Will, you know, I don't know. Will Dean Henderson leave? But I don't think Dean Henderson will. But you know, it's a bit of a tricky one to see if they'll keep hold of their star players. But I'm sure their recruitment will be right up there again this next season. So I think they'll be in a good spot for a good couple of years to come. Crystal Palace, and it truly is a brilliant time to be a Crystal Palace fan. It's been a very stop and start season for Nketiah, but to win a trophy in his first season and to win one before Mikel Arteta was quite funny. And you know what? Obviously, don't get me wrong, Mikel Arteta has won an FA Cup himself from that perspective. So, but like in terms of that Arsenal team, they should be really in the Premier League at this point, shouldn't they? But yeah. Okay, another player I want to mention, one last player I want to mention is Joel Ward, okay, because he's got a really special story for me. Spending 13 years at Crystal Palace, you know, being that main right back for Crystal Palace for so many years, and, you know, he's sort of leaving at the end of the season. So to win a trophy in his last season at the club, one incredible achievement. That, you know, to not really be replaced for those 13 seasons is an amazing thing in itself. I can't even say that word, bloody hell. But yeah, Joel Ward being the captain, being able to lift that trophy at Wembley in front of all those fans, all those Crystal Palace fans, incredible. Honestly, what's more to say? And I just want to quickly look at some of the FootMob ratings, okay, just quickly. So if we look at some of the if we look at the line quickly, okay, it's obviously Dean Henderson has got man of the match, 9.2 overall right there. He's obviously saved the penalty, 6 big saves right there as well. So you got me, he was the player of the match, and then who else is good as well? Eze, 8.1, obviously scoring the goal. He was fouled the most times with three fouls. Okay. Also, if you look at the stats as well, okay. So Crystal Palace had 22% possession. They had expected goals of 0.74 compared to Man City's 2.23. So Man City had 23 shots in total, and they just couldn't hit a barn door today, could they? Must be really frustrating for Pep Guardiola, because on another day they probably would have won. If that was a few seasons ago, you best believe Manchester City would have won that game. But for some reason this season they've just been totally off it. But I'm sure they'll bounce back for next season with a few more signings and whatnot. But what a way to lose! What a way to win it for Crystal Palace. Because if you think about Crystal Palace in the FA Cup, let me just give you a quick little stat here, okay? They've been in 2 previous FA Cup finals and lost both. One in 1990 against Manchester United and lost 1-0. And then another one in 2016, again against Manchester United and lost 2-1. So from that perspective, it was pretty much 3rd time's the charm for Crystal Palace, where they beat Manchester City 1-0 to lift the FA Cup for the first time in the club's history. One incredible stat, what an incredible achievement for the club's trophy cabinet. And I really do think they're going to kick on maybe next season. And under Oliver Glasner, what an absolute incredible transformation they've had. Right, I think we should end the video by discussing Manchester City being a pawn in Eberechi Eze's chess game. And that's right, you heard me right there, okay. There's been a lot of stuff online recently where Eberechi Eze is a fantastic chess player, and I just had to get that line in there because I think it was pretty funny. But yeah, okay. I just want to say a massive well done and congratulations to both Newcastle and Crystal Palace for winning trophies this season. Honestly, it's been a season of underdogs, it truly has, and I'm just hoping one day Aston Villa can do something as well, something for the club. Honestly, I'm not jealous. I'm definitely not jealous, guys. I promise. But yeah, okay. Ending with some questions as well. Obviously, how big is this win for Crystal Palace? Who's the star player for Crystal Palace? Is it Eze? Is it Mateta? Adam Wharton? Who else is there? Margehi, Dean Henderson. Who's the star player? How well do you think they'll do for Europa League next season? How many players do you think they need to sign as well? And yeah, I might do another video of these for the Manchester United Spurs Europa League final, the player final as well. Maybe if you guys want to see that, let me know in the comments what you guys want to see. As always, like, comment, subscribe, it's very much appreciated. And yeah, see you guys in the next video. Peace out.